I've been restoring my foreskin for almost 2 years, and I wanted to give you guys an update on my progress. Has foreskin restoration been worth it? What were some unexpected things, and would I recommend it to you? All of these things we'll discuss today. But before we get to all of this, let me quickly introduce myself. Like most of us, I was circumcised when I was a small kid. I was 4 years old when doctors diagnosed me with phimosis. If you don't know, that's when your foreskin is too tight to pull back. Phimosis can lead to infections because you can't clean your dick under the foreskin. While this reasoning sounds logical, it's a very weak reason to chop off part of a kid's genitals. After the surgery, I didn't like that I was circumcised, but I sort of got used to it. It just became my new normal. But my opinion started to shift as I got older and had my first sexual experiences. I began to notice a pattern. Sex always felt kind of dull. It was fine, but never really exciting. And honestly, sometimes it was just straight up boring. Something was always missing. I had this weird numbness that made sex feel kind of muted. I'll elaborate more in another video why, but I increasingly started to suspect that circumcision was at fault. It's one of those things where you just have a gut feeling. Long story short, I eventually stumbled upon the foreskin restoration subreddit. After putting it off for many months, I finally decided to embark on my journey. I felt like it was my best chance for a normal sex life, my best bet at reclaiming the ability to enjoy intimacy. Which gets us to the topic of today's video. 2 years later, how has my sensitivity changed? Because let's be real, that's probably why you clicked on this video in the first place. You suspect that circumcision desensitized your dick. That was definitely my biggest reason for starting this whole thing. As we already discussed, handjobs, blowjobs, and sex were honestly pretty disappointing, dull, and kinda uncomfortable. For many cut men, sex is mostly just about reaching climax, not enjoying the process towards it. When that's the case, banging can be quite stressful. But now, 2 years later, and after having restored quite a lot, it's honestly insane how much has changed. When you restore your dick, slowly but surely, your dick becomes increasingly covered. Not all at once, and on some days, more than on others. I've regrown quite a lot of foreskin to the point where my dick is pretty much always covered. This means that the sensitive inner foreskin and head aren't exposed much to the outside world anymore. And when this happens, sensitivity returns. Maybe a useful metaphor for you to grasp it. Imagine spending all day next to a noisy highway. At first, the constant noise drives you nuts, but after a while, you barely notice it anymore. Even the constant honking won't bother you anymore. Your hearing became totally desensitized. But then, imagine going to a super quiet and peaceful room. Suddenly, even the smallest sounds catch your attention because your hearing resensitizes. The same happens to your dick. Once it's constantly covered and protected by the foreskin, you don't have constant stimulus, allowing for resensitization. That's what happened to me. Sex is genuinely fun and passionate now. And importantly, I don't just enjoy the orgasm, but the act before it and the lead up to it. So in the context of sensitivity, I am beyond satisfied with everything. Now, beyond the sensitivity, let us move to the next point of discussion. If I could speak to my younger self, just getting started with restoration, what would I tell myself? Mainly, I'd tell myself to stay calm and keep on tugging. To give a bit more context, when I first got started, I was always super scared to mess up restoration. I had a fear that I'd damage my dick or that somehow I wouldn't like the results. Probably most restorers have this fear when they get started. And honestly, it's very much justified. Whenever you undergo significant bodily transformations, you should be cautious, especially when it relates to your penis. When I first got started, I spent hours on the restoration subreddit trying to see if there are any posts of dissatisfied restorers. I didn't find anything, but nonetheless, I was constantly worried of messing up my restoration or not liking the results. Maybe my restored foreskin would become loose or baggy or it would look weird. However, after 2 years, I can tell you with full confidence that none of this is the case. I am very satisfied with my results. Not only did my sensitivity come back, but it also looks great. To be honest, I look like I'm uncut. As long as you go slow and steady, there is not all that much that you can mess up with foreskin restoration. Which gets us to the final point of the video. Since I'm so satisfied with my results, what's next for me? I'm definitely not done yet, but honestly, I'm way more relaxed about it now. At CI6, I have enough coverage every day, and my sensitivity feels pretty great. It came back. The best part is that I don't even really feel circumcised anymore. It's no longer something that bothers me mentally. Yeah, circumcision is terrible. I mean, it's literal genital mutilation, but it's not weighing on me like it used to. It feels like I overcame the detrimental effects of circumcision. Besides the huge boost in sensitivity, that's probably one of my favorite things about restoration. I feel whole again, so looking forward, I don't feel like I'm in a rush as I used to. Yes, I'll still restore, but I will take my time. I'm planning to pick up one of the new Mantle restoration devices soon, since I've heard they've gotten way better, and then I'm fine if it takes me another 10 years to reach a final state. Realistically though, I think I've restored most of the major benefits already. The biggest changes, like improved sensitivity and overall comfort, have already happened. I'm beyond the point of diminishing returns now, so I'm super happy with where things are right now. Gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed my 2-year update. If you're looking for a very detailed guide on restoration, please check out the platform I'm building in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.